You know what red flags are. Red is usually a color that means caution, or to us, stop. Or the idea of a red flag is a sign that there's impending danger. But even with a lot of red flags about some certain individuals, no one pays attention until the shit hits the fan. How about a guy like Yandir Dev? I already talked about Alex Mahan on this channel, but here's all the red flags that spelled out what kind of personality this fucking douchebag had. He had a strange obsession with girls, anime girls who happen to look really underaged, and he portrays them in a sense where they're total slutty skanks. And then he acts creepily online to his young audience and often engages in conversations that always seem to have a heavy focus on sex. If that ain't enough of a red flag, I don't know what is. Yeah, that's a lot of fucking red flags. So him talking to a minor the way a predator grooms a child doesn't sound too surprising. How about some other people who threw up plenty of red flags about their real personality and true intentions that no one paid any attention to? How about Randy Stair? The guy displayed a lot of unhinged rage online, especially with his obsession over an animated cartoon character. There was specifically the ghost rock star from Danny Phantom, Ember McLean, and made this whole make-believe world on his own YouTube channel that even he himself started to believe in. And the moment that he goes on a killing spree with an automatic rifle, people still really have the gall to say, "I had no idea." The same people that say they had no idea are the same people that probably encourage this bullshit. Because this is preventable. This could have never happened had somebody said something, or at least made it sound like they cared in the least bit. Look, it might have been difficult in an age where there was no internet, no social media, no easy way to socially interact and connect the world, there was no real way to detect that somebody was off, a serial killer, an extreme offender. But now that we live in an age of social media, where the scummiest of people are online posting about how prideful and how funny they think animal abuse, CSA, extreme prejudice, and other violent offenses they want to do or have done, and all their deep personal desires that are sick and twisted, when is anybody going to stop pointing and laughing at it and actually take it seriously? All this crap is actually preventable, but nobody speaks up about it. The last part of this video will be controversial, but I really don't care. So let me just say this. I think we can all agree that you never judge someone by their appearance, their sexuality, or their race, but you judge on their actions.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo.
That being said, some individuals' actions are massive fucking red flags. But because they identify with a certain sexuality, the internet, rather than crucify an obvious and dangerous individual, they would be the first ones to jump to their defense. That being said, perverted men who all of a sudden identify as a woman and decide to walk into a ladies' room naked with other women and even underage girls in their presence suddenly now have this diplomatic immunity to being arrested or even being prosecuted or even being criticized on the internet. If this person told me they were trans and they were a woman, I would not say, "Oh, good luck with the transition," because he just completely stripped naked into a fucking ladies' room in Planet Fitness with his stubble on his chili pepper-shaped chin and them shit locks on his head. Yeah, you're just a fucking ogling pervert. There's nothing more to say. You're not identifying as a woman. You're just saying that because you think it's got some kind of force field ability to put around yourself and prevent you from getting in trouble from doing something so obviously stupid and perverted. Or take this person, for example. Imagine a guy who sucks so bad in his gender-affiliated sport of choice that now all of a sudden, because he still wants to be an athlete, and because he seemingly has this narcissistic, egotistical manner about him that he must win constantly, he decides to join the girls' basketball team while identifying as a woman, despite looking nothing like a woman because he's too fucking lazy to do all that. Yeah, he didn't even bother shaving his stubble. He just grew his hair out, that's fucking it. And all he does is run around the court fucking beating on these poor girls. And at the same time, especially because now this fucking high school decides to let him into the locker room with the ladies, he just stands there, strips down and ogles at all these fucking poor girls while they're undressing and changing. And was ogling them to the point where he even said, "Oh, titties." How could you be so fucking naive? This kind of behavior, it's not a couple red flags at all. This is one massive red flag. Like, how naive can you fucking be? Because you're afraid of a couple incels online just tweeting a bunch of random hate comments at you and making fun of you. When you take away all the inclusiveness, political jargon in this article, you actually get a sense of the reality of this and just how severe it actually is. To sum it up in just a couple short sentences, here we go. Pathetic incel sucks so bad in his own gender-affiliated choice of sport that he suddenly identifies as a woman and joins the women's team, even though he still looks like a stubble-ridden John Cena, just so he can have the satisfaction of winning and then proceeding to ogle women in their own locker rooms like a privileged peeping Tom. That's what you get. This is an open and shut pervert case. And it's honestly pretty sad that we're trying to praise this kind of behavior.
Porn at the bar.
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
To sum up this as a whole, I should point out that we're judging these people on their behavior, and their individual behavior shouldn't be taken as the basis for the whole population of trans people, because it's not. We're judging by human actions here and behavior here. We're not judging by their sexual identity, even though the student that joined the women's basketball team is obviously full of shit, as well as the man who decided to strip down into the Planet Fitness ladies' locker room. They're also full of shit. And it goes for the rest of the people within this video. How many red flags do you need before you decide to fucking do something? Because you know what? I'm at the point where it's like, even though there's all these red flags, there's always like a large percentage of people that will express doubt in actual like physical threats from these obvious incelistic weirdos online. Like, a lot of this stuff is so preventable, but nobody does things about it. That's the end of this video.